Coulrophobia is the irrational fear of clowns. Seeing or even thinking about clowns can cause extreme anxiety for those afflicted. While many people are aware it exists, most associate aversion to clowns with small children. For example, in horror lore, Pennywise the dancing clown is one form of an evil entity that preys upon and terrorizes kids. Coincidentally, this is the character whose image is tattooed on the neck of our first subject, Adam Montgomery. We don't know why Adam chose to tattoo an image of a predatory child killer on his neck, but we do know two things. No one has seen or heard from his 5-year-old daughter Harmony since November 2019, and, according to police reports, Adam was the last known person to see her alive. This is 5-year-old Harmony Montgomery, an adorable young girl with a heart as big as her smile. She was born blind in the right eye, requiring her to wear glasses, but that never prevented her from offering a warm hug to anyone she came across. Although Harmony was last seen in Manchester, New Hampshire in late 2019, she was not reported missing until after Christmas 2021. On the surface, this is a missing person case, but below the surface, it is about red flags, missed opportunities, and the human cost of a community's failure to sufficiently protect its children's welfare. There are three principal figures in this matter, and they are as follows. Adam Montgomery, Harmony's biological father. Crystal Sorey, Harmony's biological mother, and Kayla Montgomery, Adam's wife, stepmother to Harmony, and with whom Adam has 3 children in common. Let's dive in. Adam was born on January 22, 1990. He grew up in New Hampshire with his 2 brothers, Kevin and Michael. He's known by friends and associates as Ace, but that's not because of his academic accomplishments. He attended but did not complete high school and earned a GED later on. Substance abuse and violence have been the 2 main themes in his life. Adam has a history of encounters with police dating as far back as 12 years old. His charges include assault, burglary, stalking, drug use, gun-related crimes, and attempted murder. According to the U.S. Sun and Boston 25 News, then 18-year-old Adam was named as the primary suspect in the unsolved murder of 28-year-old Darlene Guzman. Guzman was found dead from multiple gunshot wounds on February 10, 2008. However, there was insufficient evidence to bring charges against Adam. Later that year, according to police records, he broke into an apartment armed with a pellet gun and held 2 occupants at gunpoint. He demanded money from them. When officers arrived, Adam pointed the gun at one of the officers. He was eventually restrained and arrested. He pleaded guilty to armed robbery and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. In August of 2012, a 22-year-old Adam entered into a relationship with the then 20-year-old Crystal Renee Sorey of Lowell, Massachusetts. Crystal had a rough upbringing. She was raised by drug-addicted parents who were frequently in and out of jail. Unfortunately, the cycle of substance abuse continued with her. Crystal is on record saying she and Adam struggled with addiction during their time together. According to a formal accusation, on the night of January 24, 2014, with Crystal 6 months pregnant, Adam went out looking to score drugs. A disagreement ensued with the other party, and it allegedly resulted in Adam pulling out a firearm and shooting Robert Jacobs in the head. Jacobs' brother was on the scene and returned fire, hitting Adam in the arm. Adam was apprehended by U.S. Marshals 4 days later in Manchester. He was indicted on armed assault with the intent to murder and was denied bail. In March, he was sentenced to 18 months in the Middleton House of Corrections. 3 months later, on June 7, 2014, Crystal gave birth to Harmony. With Adam incarcerated, Crystal's mother sick in a nursing home, and no support system, Crystal described herself as essentially homeless. She was seeking assistance from women's shelters. As such, Harmony bounced between her mother's care and the Department of Children, Youth, and Families for much of her young life. Eventually, Crystal's problems overwhelmed her, and in January 2018, she lost custody of Harmony to the state for the 3rd and final time. After his release from prison in 2015, Adam moved on to a new relationship. He met and married Kayla Rivera, and they would eventually have 3 children in common. They lived in a home on 77 Guilford Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. The house was owned by Adam's grandmother, and he was paying rent to her. In August 2018, Adam met with his then 4-year-old daughter, Harmony, for the first time in 11 months and just the 9th time overall. In February of 2019, Adam petitioned the Massachusetts Family Court for physical and legal custody of Harmony. The judge in the case granted custody to Adam and ruled that he was fit to parent, despite his previously being convicted of shooting a man during a drug deal and of a separate attack on 2 women. Additionally, the judge waived the usual prerequisite for an in-home visit from officials. Information is now public that the Massachusetts Department of Children, Youth, and Families had requested the New Hampshire Department of Children and Families to inspect Montgomery's home 2 months before the judgment. However, that assessment was never done. At that time, Kayla added Harmony to her SNAP benefits account and received an additional $129 monthly in benefits. Crystal eventually regained sobriety and made several attempts to contact her daughter. Finally, around Easter 2019, Crystal had a video chat with Harmony. She claimed she could see Adam in the background. It was the last time Crystal saw her daughter alive. After that, she was surprised to learn that her cell phone and all her social media accounts were blocked by Adam. Meanwhile, 2 months later, Crystal's son by another father is placed with the Millers, a pre-adoptive family. In July 2019, an anonymous complaint was made to the DCF regarding the Montgomerys. The caller made allegations of abuse and said Harmony had a black eye when the caller visited recently. A child protective service worker visited the house and emailed Manchester police to say no eye injury was observed. Harmony's uncle Kevin admitted that, out of concern for the welfare of Harmony, it was he who contacted the DCF. 1 month later, a CPS worker revisits 77 Guilford Street and interviews Harmony, Adam, and Kayla. This time, the worker notes a red mark on Harmony's eye and a contusion under her eyelid. When asked, Adam said the bruise happened when a sibling accidentally struck Harmony in the face with a toy. According to documents reviewed by the U.S. Sun, there were at least 16 occasions since January 2019 when police responded to complaints at the Montgomery home. Among the reports were alleged verbal domestic fights, concerns of suspected child abuse and animal abuse, and the home's condition. On one occasion in October, Harmony was physically seen by police during a call for service. During another police call in late November, a neighbor informed the police the Montgomery house had actually been foreclosed on in August. The family refused to leave and were essentially squatting. U.S. Marshals were coming to the home and leaving notices. The neighbor states she went away for Thanksgiving break, and when she returned, the Montgomerys were no longer there. Police discovered the family was evicted from the property on November 27, 2019. According to authorities, multiple individuals reported seeing Harmony with Adam and Kayla in the days that followed. However, between December 6th and December 10th of 2019, the couple was seen only with the 2 children they shared in common at the time, not Harmony. Kayla's mother said during that time, Kayla approached her, said they were homeless, and asked if they could stay at her place. The mother stated Harmony was not a part of that conversation. Kayla's mother said she couldn't accommodate them. According to witnesses, Adam, Kayla, and the other 2 children were living out of cars. One was a silver 2010 Chrysler Sebring, and the other a dark blue 2006 Audi S4. During Harmony's absence, the Millers, the family who adopted Crystal's son, repeatedly inquired about her whereabouts, including on Harmony's birthday in June 2020. Each time, Crystal told them she could not reach Harmony or Adam as he had blocked all contact. This pattern continued over the next year. Meanwhile, in March of 2021, Kayla and her now 3 kids moved into her mother's apartment due to domestic violence from Adam. On July 28, Crystal left a comment on social media that read, "She's not quite missing. Her father has her and hasn't let me see her or talk to her in 2 years. For no reason, just to hurt me. She's in Manchester, New Hampshire somewhere, and I need to find her." In September 2021, a person close to Crystal contacted DCF and raised concerns that Crystal had not seen Harmony since 2019. DCF confirmed Harmony had never been registered for school in Manchester and attempted to locate the Montgomery family. The DCF relayed their prior addresses to the Manchester Police Department, but the police could not find Adam or Harmony. On December 27, 2021, the Manchester Police Department initiated an investigation and spoke with several family members. This was when police learned Harmony had not been physically seen by anyone since late November 2019. 3 days later, detectives talked to Kevin Montgomery, Harmony's uncle. He said he had not seen Adam or Harmony since late 2019. He told police about the black eye he saw on Harmony and how Adam said he bashed Harmony around the house, forced her to scrub the toilet with her toothbrush, and stand in the corner for hours during a drug relapse. Police subsequently began a full-scale search for Adam Montgomery. The next day, Kayla Montgomery was interviewed by detectives. She said the last time she saw Harmony was sometime in November or December of 2019. She claimed she saw her with Adam one morning before going to work. He told her he was driving Harmony to Lowell, Massachusetts to drop her off with her mother. She believed Harmony was returned to Crystal. Kayla stated she never saw or heard from Harmony again after that day. A few hours later, patrol officers located Adam and his new girlfriend, Kelsey Small, sleeping in a vehicle in Manchester. It appeared they were living out of the car.
What's your name, my man?
What?
Adam.
This police body cam video obtained by News 9 Investigates was taken on December 31st, 2021, the day Manchester police announced a missing persons investigation for Harmony Montgomery.
On top of your head.
What's going on now?
This was the first interaction between Adam Montgomery and Manchester police after officers located him sleeping in a car in Manchester's Wolf Park. In the video, officers ask Montgomery about his daughter's whereabouts.
You just need to find out where she is. That's all I'm concerned about. You're not in any trouble right now that I know of.
Okay.
You have no warrants.
Okay.
So, where's your daughter so we can check on her to make sure that she's okay?
Right now, I have nothing to say about.
But that's not what I'm just asking where she is.
I have nothing to say.
The interaction lasts about 45 minutes before Montgomery is sent on his way. Police track Montgomery down again later that day, serving him with a court order to produce Harmony.
Some detectives want to speak with you.
In a roadside conversation, Small told detectives she was aware Adam had 4 children but was not in touch with them. She added that he never mentioned Harmony, and she knew nothing of that situation. Adam told detectives Harmony was fine and even claimed he had seen Harmony recently. Yet, as the conversation continued, Adam contradicted his and Kayla's statements by saying he had not seen Harmony since Crystal came to pick her up in Manchester in November 2019. One officer noted Adam displayed very little emotion to the news that Harmony had been missing for 2 years. Officers filed a report, and Adam was not detained at that time. On January 4, 2022, police, assisted by the FBI, used canines to search the property at 77 Guilford Street. They thoroughly searched the house and even dug through the backyard, but came up empty. While authorities searched the house, Adam was arrested in Manchester. He was charged with 1 count of felony second-degree assault, 1 count of interference with custody, and 1 count of endangering the welfare of a child. The charges were related to his alleged 2019 conduct against Harmony, in which she sustained a black eye. With Adam now in custody, he was interrogated by detectives. 2 days after Adam was questioned, Kayla was arrested on 1 count of felony welfare fraud. The charge alleges that Kayla continued to receive over $1,500 in food stamp benefits in Harmony's name after she acknowledged Harmony was no longer in the household. This charge is later dropped and replaced by a new felony theft charge. On March 22nd, Kelsey Small, who had been with Adam for over a year and stated he had never discussed Harmony, was found dead in a hotel room in Manchester. She did not face charges concerning the Montgomery case. According to police, her death is not considered suspicious. Her cause of death has not been made public. On June 3, 2022, detectives caught a break. Kayla is arrested on perjury charges. She's accused of lying during grand jury testimony about her location when Harmony was last seen and accounted for. Facing 3.5 to 7 years in prison on these charges, she decides it's in her best interests to cooperate. According to a local media outlet, Kayla provided detectives with credible new information which led them to an apartment she once shared with Adam. 10 days later, authorities searched the apartment. Investigators were assisted by a sewer plumbing team and at one point were observed hauling a refrigerator out. On August 11th, just weeks after the apartment was searched, New Hampshire Attorney General John Formella held a press conference to provide an update on the case.
Back in January, we announced that then 5-year-old Harmony likely disappeared sometime between November 28th and December 10th of 2019. Since that announcement, members of my office, members of the Manchester Police Department, the U.S. Marshal Service, the FBI, and other law enforcement partners have been diligently continuing to work this case. In total, these agencies working together have devoted thousands of hours gathering evidence and pursuing numerous leads. All of these efforts have led us to conclude that Harmony Montgomery was murdered in Manchester in early December of 2019. At this point, while Harmony's remains have not yet been located, we do have multiple sources of investigative information, including just recently confirmed biological evidence, that have led us to this difficult and tragic conclusion. As a result, today I am announcing that this is now officially a homicide investigation.
On October 24, 2022, Adam Montgomery was arrested and charged with second-degree murder in the death of Harmony Montgomery. According to prosecutors in New Hampshire, Kayla identified her husband as the young girl's killer. In June, she told Manchester police detectives that Adam had murdered Harmony at the Guilford Street house in December 2019. Adam allegedly beat 5-year-old Harmony to death with a closed fist and purposely altered, destroyed, concealed, or removed her body and hid it, according to court documents. Adam is currently being held without bail as he awaits trial. A trial date has not yet been set. Adam will soon have his day in court, and it will be up to a jury to decide his guilt or innocence. But what about the state child welfare system? How did investigators miss the many warning signs of abuse? Should judges, such as the one who granted Adam custody despite his violent criminal background, be held accountable for their decisions outside of impeachment? If so, what would that look like? As usual, feel free to share your thoughts below.